Fringe theory is based around the genre and trope of various horror and thriller media. Please view the episode description for a full list of content warnings. Thank you. Cold open as the scene fades in on the man in the woods at a makeshift pulpit in the middle of his inner woods commune. The people are crowded around him on logs and seats, listening with bated breath and breathless attention. My people, the time of our uprising is close at hand. With that perfect consumption so valiantly wounded, this project of which we've spent decades cultivating, which some of you were not even around to see its inception, is finally soon coming to a close. Though the one you knew as natural disaster gave his life for the project, together with you, we shall ensure that his sacrifice is not in vain. We shall ensure that our way of life, against the chains that modern society binds us to, shall be broken once and for all. The Harvest Festival is mere days away now. I hope you're all prepared for the festivities. For when the sunrise breaks and the roots begin to grow, we, Little Alex, what's that? Oh, we seem to have a runner on our hands. Oh, no. That won't do at all. Forgive me, my fellows, for cutting this short. I must go now. I have a petulant little mess that needs to be cleaned up. Hello and welcome to the Bones and Story podcast. My name is Nick, I also go by Flux, and today we are doing a love letter session for our Monster of the Week campaign by Michael Sands. And starting us out here this time is Sammi.
Hi, it's Sammi. I don't really have anything funny to say this time.
And no one else, because it's just you and me here in this empty room, in this empty warehouse.
Care to debate Steven Universe with me?
I really would rather not. So, as a little recap for what happened last time, because I know we kind of I don't want to say glossed over it, but we very much did abstract it. A lot of things happen up to and including your boss being completely vaporized.
Yeah, that did happen.
So kind of like last time, what this sort of downtime vignette I think is two scenes that are I think really important to do. The first of which that I think we're going to start out with is getting to talk with your mother in a not charged situation. This is something I actually really wanted to do because, let's see, when have you talked to your mother? When she was going to kill your uncle, Midas, when she was going to kill your boss, and that's really about it?
That's really about it.
So where do you think this happens? Do you think this is at the carnival, or do you think this is at, maybe a coffee shop? What do you think?
I think probably a coffee shop or something.
As we know from, I believe it was the fifth hunt, no hospital can hold you.
Correct.
So that's not really too much of a factor here. So we're here in this coffee shop. Do you arrive first, or do you think she does?
Millie likes to be fashionably early.
What are you wearing to this? Do you have your usual, get-up on with your, clothes and your face paint, or are you wearing something different?
She has her usual getup on, except she doesn't have her makeup on.
Probably for the best. And you hear the bell over the door jingle as you watch your mother, Ruby Bazaar, with rather casual clothes, just like a nice little afternoon's cardigan on, enter, and you can tell immediately from her face that this is a conversation that she has been mentally preparing herself for.
Millie's kind of been mentally preparing for it too. She's kind of anxiously tapping on the table.
I wonder if it'd be, like, interesting paralleled themings if this was, like, the same coffee shop and the same table as the start of Hunt 5.
I think we should do that. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, I think that's what the camera sees is, like, this is framed almost exactly the same way. I think Ruby sits down and just says, I'm going to be leaving in a couple of days, Malenko. I have a restaurant back home. I can't leave it forever, I'm afraid.
Yeah, no, I get it. Duty calls when duty calls.
Are you all right? I'm sorry for what you had to see back at the circus. I really don't have any good explanation for you. Just that red mist overtook me with that man.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fucking fine, really. I've been thinking about it, I guess. I don't know.
The way your voice is wavering, it doesn't really sound like it's fine, Millie. How's Millie feeling about this whole thing?
Not very good. She doesn't really know what to say or do. She hasn't sorted out most of her feelings on this.
That's fair. It's not like there was much of a corpse left behind. I think Ruby says, I'm not going to apologize for what I did, but I am going to apologize for the stress that I put you through. I'm sorry, Malenko.
No, it's okay. You were just, you were just trying to be a mom, right? In, like, kind of a really weird, kind of fucked up way, but still, like, moms are supposed to, protect their kids or whatever, and that's what you were trying to do.
I guess in a way that you're correct. I guess it's penance for the motherhood I didn't get to experience. I mean, Lord, look at you. You're a grown woman now. I can't baby you. With your father gone, I'm probably not going to ever get the chance to experience that, but I think I feel satisfied all the same. I don't really know.
I'm still sorry.
It's okay, Malenko. You don't have to apologize. Just...
Such an alluring thing. You're a kid and you realize that you're magic, that's something that you can actually do with your hands, that it's not just playground games. And the circus comes by and it's just such an alluring fucking thing,
You're allowed to be mad at me for effectively ending your boss. You know that, right? You don't have to hold back. But just when you're my age, when you've got these wrinkles on your face, I really hope that you look back and understand what a terrible man that man was. You don't have to come to that conclusion right now, but I hope you do in time.
I hope that I do too.
How do you feel?
From everything that her mom said, a part of her knows logically that none of this was right, that none of this has ever been right, but the other part of her that's been part of the Bedlam Carnival for so long, that's seen Vanity like a father for so long, still can't quite break through. And so right now, she's just kind of sitting here hoping that she can make that breakthrough at some point. Even if it's not today.
That's a good point. Like, Vanity was kind of your father, and, like, this is gonna sound harsh to say, but, like, how long have you known the woman before you? It's not for very long. There's obviously an emotional connection there, but, like, I can't imagine that it's easy for you.
It's hard to accept that maybe things weren't right. She still would like to think that they were. But with Vanity dead and not there to talk her down from thinking about it, she's started to think about it,
Yeah, no, that's completely fair. I think what this scene is like, just this awkward silence, the two of you, like, order your drinks, and I think she says to you between sips of her London Fog, I think she says, like, I'd like to keep in touch with you, if possible.
Oh, no, yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, truthfully, I'm still not entirely sure how much I'd like to keep in touch with your uncle, but...
No one knows how much they want to keep in touch with Midas.
Well, glad to hear I'm not the only one, then.
He's put us in a situation or two, that's for sure. Love the guy, but shit, man.
Oh, situation is a way to describe it. I'm really sorry that I couldn't be there for you.
I'm really sorry that I wasn't there for you. I know you said I don't have to apologize, but just let me, okay? Just do that for me.
Yes, Malenko, I forgive you. I really hope we're able to start anew with this, as damnable the circumstances were. I'm really glad that I have you in my life again, even as distant as it may become.
I'm glad too. I mean, shit, life's kinda boring without a mom around to gossip with, you know?
You know your grandmother's still alive, right?
Wow, really?
Yeah, she's sipping margaritas down in Florida. Should come down and visit sometime. I'm sure she'd love to see you. Maybe we leave out your occupation, though. I think you'd scare her into an early grave. Well, as early as you can be at that age.
Right. Come on. I know how to scare people, which means I know how to not scare people, I think.
Well, I can certainly hope. Just remember to write or call, okay, Malenko?
Of course. I'll put it down in my notes, you know? I don't want to forget.
She pays for both of your coffees. It's the least she can do.
That's nice of her.
And I think as this scene ends, I think just the last thing she says is, keep that uncle of yours out of trouble, please, God.
I'll see what I can do, Mom.
Thank you. And I think that's where this specific scene closes. You know, maybe you talk once or twice in passing before she's driven off to the airport to go back to New York State. But aside from that, how does Millie feel about getting at least some semblance of closure, question mark, with her mother?
She's glad to be back in touch with her. Part of her, a very small part, has always missed her mom, even if she's never really thought about it. And being able to actually talk to her again and remember who her mom really is, it feels nice.
So the other part of this love letter downtime that I wanted to get to, that I think is important for you as a character going forward, is what's happening with the Bedlam Carnival?
A whole mess.
Yeah, a whole mess. I think, like, in the wake of you and your coworkers effectively losing that fight against Hallow and Ruby and Midas, there's a bit of a power vacuum, and say what you will about Vanity, he's a actually genuinely decent leader, and without his charisma and interpersonal skills, it's kind of turned to shit. There's a lot of, like, infighting, talking about, like, okay, well, who's going to do this part? Who's going to do that part? You know, there's a lot of things that Vanity did behind the scenes, and those things are still going to need to happen if you guys want to have money to afford to eat. So, where does Millie fit into this, into this bedlam?
Millie is mostly trying to gather people into working in groups. She's kind of low-key trying to take on some form of leadership, but without saying it because that would make people kind of mad at her, and in fact, she's already had a few spats with people who are accusing her of trying to take over the carnival, which isn't really what she's trying to do. She's just trying to get everyone into some sense of organization, and she did learn a lot about organization from Vanity. But also everyone knows that she was kind of one of Vanity's favorites, so...
Yeah, okay, fuck it, let's dance. I think, you know what'd be fun for this? I want to put him back on the screen. I think Ichabod's the one who speaks up and says, oh, and who made you leader all of a sudden?
Fuck, man, I'm just trying to keep us in some sense of order. No one else is doing it.
Oh, no one else is doing it? From my perspective, I think plenty of people have been trying their best, considering that, oh, you ready for me to light a fire?
Oh boy.
I think Ichabod says, considering that from my perspective it was your uncle that murdered our boss, I'm not even sure why we're listening to you.
I don't know what fucking world you live in, where you think I have magical psychic control over what my uncle does, but I don't, and I didn't want him to do that shit either. But guess what? He did, and now we're here.
I'm just saying you spent a lot of time around him, and you're fairly certain that was your mother and that old stagehand of yours. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if you were in on this plot either. I mean, look at you, you're starting to step up. Who's to say that this wasn't the plan all along?
Do you honestly fucking think that I ever wanted him dead?
I don't know. Like you said, I'm not a psychic. I think he begins, like, stepping up on you before, like, Joey the medic just kind of, steps between the two of you and puts his hands out like, okay, let's not fight. Look, I know you're very heated right now, Ichabod, but can we not do this?
Just listen, that man was like a father to me, okay? And that's something I don't know how to feel about right now. But what I do know is that I still care about the carnival, and I just want it to be okay.
Dear Millie Bizarre, twisted into chaos from the death of your leader, your fellow performers have nowhere to turn to. This is a power vacuum, and without a voice within the darkness to bring at least a temporary peace, there's a chance this whole house of cards could come tumbling down. Roll plus weird. On a 10 plus, you're able to bring a temporary peace to the carnival. Describe what you do and how the crew are able to settle their differences. You're able to keep things afloat for now. On a 7 to 9, you're able to quiet things down, but peace is fleeting. Describe what you do and one member who opposes your authority. The next big performance is bound to be a train wreck. On a 6 minus, things don't look so good, and you're just making the fire worse. Describe how the carnival starts tearing each other apart. It's not destroyed, but it's certainly not in any performing order. Let's see it.
That's a 9.
That's a 9. On a 7 to 9, you're able to quiet things down, but peace is fleeting. Describe what you do and one member who opposes your authority. That can be Ichabod. I gave you an easy one there, but if you want to make up someone new who also opposes you, I wouldn't complain. Your next big performance is bound to be a train wreck. But at least you're together. So what do you think this looks like?
I think this looks like, what's the name of the medic again?
Joey Crookshank, I believe you said.
Thank you. What Millie says is kind of able to get Joey on her side, and people really like Joey. So the two of them kind of start working together to get everyone into organized groups and deciding who's going to do what and who's going to be where. And not everyone completely likes it, but it's at least something. It's at least something, and people who are fighting with each other are intentionally kept away from each other.
Who's one person who opposes your authority?
Ichabod still.
Okay, that makes sense. How do you think he opposes this? How do you think he, like, rebels against you, and what do you think you're gonna do about it?
Ichabod refuses to work in any of the groups he's assigned to. He just kind of does his own thing, and often ends up just kind of making things worse.
He's the reason that this is going to be a train wreck.
They've tried to talk to him several times, but it doesn't really seem like talking is gonna help, so they're kind of on the verge of kicking him out, but they don't know how he'll react to that.
Oh, you know what I think this is?
What?
I was debating whether or not he was going to snitch. I think this is a perfect time. If you want to frame just like one more little mini scene with me.
Alright.
I think in a bittersweet manner, you've kind of taken up Vanity's old trailer and are using it like, because, you know, he still had paperwork in there. And in this scene, you're using it as an office. You're on the one side where Vanity used to sit, and the other is Ichabod getting taken to task as the scene opens. I just don't know why we're doing things differently, Millie. Our old script, our old performance was fine.
We're not changing very much at all. It's only different because of a little bit of creative difference in who's talking about it.
I do some very, very dangerous flips. Do you know how much... God, I'm not going to set myself up for you to say that I don't trust these people, but do you know how much we have to train to be able to do it? Why can't I have my old partner back? We could do that performance blindfolded in our sleep. Now we have to do more training, and do you know how much time we have to do that training? I'll give you a hint. It's not a lot.
Because you've refused to cooperate in any group that we've assigned you to, even ones that had your old partner in them. And I just don't think that I can trust you to do anything because you continually tear down the work any one fucking group is trying to do. I don't know what you want me to say, Ichabod. If you're gonna try and fuck shit up, I'm not gonna trust you with anyone.
He just puts his, like, face in his hands as he lets out, like, a long groan. You can tell that there's a part of him that, like, wants to tell you something, but Ichabod is being the stubborn jackass you know him to be, and you've worked with him long enough that you know that he's in that mood where he very obviously doesn't want to treat you as a therapist, even though, like, you guys are practically family, and that's what you're there for.
What are you looking at me like that for, Ichabod?
I just don't know how I feel doing that performance again. And I know I just said that we didn't have time to train new ones. Fuck. God, Millie, I need to tell you something.
What's up?
He leans a little bit closer and he says, a couple weeks, maybe this was a month or so back, I found a corpse at the docks.
Shit, dude.
I did a little bit of digging, 'cause, well, yeah, like you said, shit dude. It was her.
Millie's kinda quiet for a minute.
A tooth broke off. I'd recognize that tooth anywhere.
Shit. We have to fucking... Shit. Sorry, Ichabod, this isn't about you. This is... Shit.
No, I should probably apologize. I'm really having trouble doing that performance without reliving that night from a couple years ago in my head.
We can find you a different performance if it would help you out.
I don't know if there's enough time to train an entirely new performance.
The most we can do is try. Listen, I'm here. Worst that happens, you get hurt a little bit worse than usual. It won't be as bad as what happened a few years ago, because it'll just be a stage accident, and I can heal it, okay?
That's not what I'm worried about.
Then what are you worried about?
You need to keep that girl on a leash. You know what Vanity used to tell us.
I know, Ichabod, I know. I was supposed to get information about it. We were supposed to make progress on it, but... Shit, I don't know where to start. Maybe that guy she's seeing?
Do you think Vanity might have had some notes here?
Maybe. He said he might have information on the matter, but he never got to give it to me.
Are you going through his records? Are you going through his, like, papers?
Yes.
You go through his papers a little bit. You're trying to, like, find anything you can that would help with, like, you know that this is some kind of fake curse. And I think you do see a clue, as minor of a clue as it is. It's some of Vanity's, planning notes. It's where he plans what towns, what dates, you know, where the carnival's gonna go, when they're going to go. And this is a small little printout that he made for Fringe Water. And on it you can see that apparently Fringe Water has a history in meddling with the Fae. And the second half of this paper is suddenly in a font, in a script, in a language, in a writing style that you don't even understand.
Millie pockets it. Maybe Hollow or John will be able to figure it out.
It's worth a try. Ichabod just kind of puts his chin against his hand and is just like, just keep her at an arm's length, will you? I don't say this as a threat, but if these deaths continue, I'm going to solve the problem myself.
I'll do everything I can, Ichabod. She's still my friend.
It's what Vanna would have wanted.
I don't know how I feel about what Vanna would have wanted anymore.
Guess we'll never know, but I should go back to practicing. I'm sorry for the trouble that I've caused.
You're fine. Shit, I'm glad you talked with me about it.
Yeah. Just to be clear, the next show's still gonna be a train wreck.
Such is life.
There's just not enough time between, like, training a completely new routine that it's not going to go well, but, like, you know, such is the life of a performer, I guess. Hello. Hello.
That's me.
How's it been going? You know, it's been maybe how long do you think it couldn't have been that long between the hunt and now, maybe like a day or two?
Hallow's doing fucking great.
See, you say that in a tone that makes me feel like you're not doing great.
Well, she ate a woman.
Hey, that is pretty good.
So at least she's not hungry anymore.
That is true. You know who's not doing great?
Who?
It's Jean.
Oh no.
I think this scene opens as Jean is the one laying down in the cot. Or no, he isn't laying down. He's sitting on it and his fists are balled.
Oh.
He explained this to you a little bit after the hunt. This was off camera, off mic. He explained this to you a little bit like in the interim between then and now, but that woman, what was she called? Sophie Crane?
Mm-hmm.
Was one of his current paramours, his current meal.
Oh.
And though you don't remember her, she was also there when you came to the Haven, and she came with the two of you to the fairground, and then she got eaten by the false Hydra, and now Jean is hungry.
Honestly, not to victim blame, but kind of her own fault. Why in the world would you follow him?
Well, I guess we'll never know, huh?
I guess not. Okay, well, he's starving.
I think you can see him shaking. It's taking every bit of willpower in him to keep his human glamour up. Mm-hmm. You know, the same kind of power that
Hello kinda has one.
Well, it's the same power that allows you to not have to walk around with a giant mouth on your face.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one that keeps it somewhat normal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's your glamour.
Yeah.
And he just puts some money into your hand and says, "Hello, my dear, can you go down to the bookstore and get me the cheesiest romance novel you can? It's not gonna fully feed me, but it should hold me over."
You can eat books?
No, I don't have time to explain it. Please just do what I ask, please.
Hallow does as she's told.
Now, this is complicated by a couple factors. You used luck twice last hunt.
I did do that.
Which means two aspects of your monstrous physiology are going to manifest. What were the two that you were thinking?
Well, I think we talked about her antlers are fully in.
Yeah, that they aren't nubbins anymore. This isn't something you'd be able to, like, hide with cleverly combed over hair or, like, a hat.
No. She's going to use what Millie taught her. It's cosplay.
I see, okay. And what was the other thing?
The other thing is that her hands are turning into claws. So, like, in the way that they look in my head is that the tips of her fingers are starting to look like they're covered in soot. And, like, they're getting long and elongated like some nightmare creature.
Oh, I love it. And tying into this hands clawed thing, you did actually get an improvement last time.
I did.
Doing our end of session questions that we don't keep in the recordings because usually as soon as we finish the hunt, everyone passes out. So we kind of do them in piecemeal, but so you do have clawed hands. You already have claws of the beast.
I do, that we never use because I keep forgetting I have it.
You keep forgetting to add +1 to your harm? Oh man, you gotta start doing that.
In my defense, that should be something that you remember. I'm attacking your characters.
I have to deal with not only my GM notes, but also trying to remember, like, things for all 4 PCs, not just you.
Well, yeah, but, like, what am I supposed to say in a fight? Like, oh, by the way, just remember, I deal 4 harm with my teeth.
Yes, that would be ideal, actually. But no, the point is, what was the move that you took that, like, the clawed hands represent but is not Claws of the Beast?
Unholy Strength. I get to roll plus weird instead of plus tough when I kick some ass nowadays.
That is handy.
Pun intended.
So what's your game plan for getting this book from the bookstore?
I guess Hallow just goes to the bookstore.
You're not trying to hide it or anything? You're just gonna fucking, like, raw dog this shit?
I mean, maybe she, like, borrows some gloves, but
okay, gloves help.
There's no hiding the antlers. They're antlers.
They're, like, I imagine a foot long coming out of your head.
Yeah, they're not subtle, but,
Okay.
you can explain anything away with, it's a headband.
Now, see, if it was anyone else, they might be able to do this, but, you did... There was that consequence at the end of the last hunt. We'll get to that in a second. What is the cheesiest sounding romance novel title you can think of?
Hang on, let me look up a Penny Dreadful. Do you know what a Penny Dreadful is?
They're, books that were mass-produced, way back when, and they call it that because they cost a penny, right?
Yeah, and
they generally
were
suck,
cheap.
you know?
Yeah, they were generally very bad. Fun fact, Sweeney Todd was originally a Penny Dreadful.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow, I just found one called Once Upon a Mail Order Bride.
Holy fuck, is that what you buy for Jean?
I don't think so, but isn't that a
please.
fucking kicker?
Oh my god.
Oh,
no,
never
what
mind.
You buy?
No. Here, I have the perfect one. A Sweet Mail Order Bride for the Distant Rancher. This is a real book.
Okay, but it's that book, right? Only
Yeah.
it's MALE Order Bride.
Holy fuck. The gender on this bitch.
What was it called again?
A Sweet Mail Order Bride for the Distant Rancher.
You bring a sweet mail order bride for the distant rancher to the front, and the and the lady at the front of this bookstore, which is like this is one of the few like businesses that haven't actually like got destroyed in the Main Street event from like The Hunt 3.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I also found one called A Hunted Bride for the Suspicious Cowboy.
Wow.
I really like Suspicious Cowboy.
What is so suspicious about him?
I don't know.
And I don't really want to know.
Wow.
As you bring both of these books to the front...
Both of them! Yes!
As you bring both of these books to the front...
Hello grabbed one, realized she had leftover money, and grabbed another.
You see the lady at the front cock an eyebrow as she looks you up and down, and then instead of taking your money, she reaches over and then picks up her phone and is whispering quietly into it.
Hello cocks her head. They're for my friend.
Yes, of course. Just give me a second, okay, dear?
All right.
Like 5 minutes pass.
Can I buy my book, please?
Yes. She will gladly take your money.
Well, Hello gives her the money.
And you grab the 2 books. She even gives you a bag for them.
Wow.
And as you're leaving the bookstore, you notice a mob has formed in front of it.
Hello turns back around.
Yeah, remember how we said last hunt, everyone in town knows your face now and knows what you are?
Oh, no.
She totally snitched on you, that bitch.
That minimum wage punk.
Now, I will say that because this is a downtime episode, things can just happen. This isn't the capital T role that I have planned for you. However you want to solve this situation, it'll just work.
Is there a back door?
I think you run for the back door as this crowd, like, bursts through the door and, like, tries to get you.
Hello fucking sprints out with her shitty romance novels.
And I think they do grab at you a little bit. Like, you have to actually, like, shake them off.
She hisses at them like a feral cat.
One of them manages to grab at your sickle, which, I'm only saying this to right a wrong because, like,
we
3 months
forgore.
passed. 3 months passed between the 5th and 6th hunt, and you forgot to unmark that, I think it's on your sheet as a big knife.
It is on my sheet as a big knife.
That you lost when you went to rescue those workers, and you just forgot to unmark it, and then we forgot because 3 months passed.
Yeah, we forgore.
Unmark that now. We're writing this wrong.
I did. My big knife! My big sickle!
But you do manage to get back, you do manage to get away from the mob, I think.
Hallow is fucking sprinting to Jean.
But, as you get back to the Haven, you hear, banging and crackling,
Oh, God.
No one's here, but Jean is very, very bad right now.
I brought your books.
I don't think he even, like, speaks. He looks almost like, in the same way that you get when you're starving, and his glamour is, like, dropping right now to show more, like, raw, unfettered, unseelie form. And you see, like, out from, like, his left pec to his left shoulder, 5 sets of arms have grabbed onto you as they,
Okay.
as you come through the door.
Okay.
Hey, all
Okay.
it takes in traditional Jankanak lore is a touch, and let's just say, boy, is he good with his hands.
Hey. Hallow struggles, I guess. What else are you to do?
I mean, I think you're able to push him off. I think it's reasonable that you can, like, out-physically, like, maneuver him. You're much stronger than him.
He has more arms, but I have raw, unfettered aggression.
You have unholy strength now.
I do. I shove that bitch off.
And as you, like, shove him off, he just, like, snarls as, like, he tries to get his glamour back. Some of these hands, like, slink back in, but then, like, his face kind of peels back and, like, 2 more sets of arms burst out of his neck where his head should be. And as he sprouts these arms from these heads, I think he, like, snaps down and grabs the book from you.
Oh.
Or the books, 2 of them, actually. And he just, like, as he's holding them, I think it's enough to soothe him.
I think you were going to say that he starts fucking inhaling them.
With what mouth?
Oh, there's no oh.
Yeah, no, his, like, head is gone. It's just arms.
Oh, I misunderstood you.
Yeah, it's... Whew. Well, hey, on the upshot, the head is coming back.
Okay, that's good.
And, he still looks a little worse for wear, but he just kind of, like, slumps down onto his cot with, 1 arm on the left side and 2 arms on the right.
Okay.
Just breathing heavily, but, it seems that this stabilized him.
Yay, books.
Yay. Oh, blimey, thank you, Hallow.
Blimey.
This isn't gonna sustain me. But, this has bought me some time.
I guess she, like, wrings her hands together. She doesn't really know what to say. Man, is this how Midas feels?
About what?
Whenever Hallow gets hungry.
You can imagine so.
Yeah, that's what she meant. Just, man, is this how Midas feels?
I can't stay here. He, gets back up off of the cot and, like, pushes the door open.
No.
No, Hallow, please. I'm not going anywhere. You watch as he just kind of, like, clambers out the door and, like, walks into the water a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And he just kind of, like, stands there and looks up at the moon and lets the water hit his legs. What do you do?
It's night outside?
I think that the moon's just starting to show up. It's like that period where, like, you can still see it's daytime, but, like, the moon's there.
Mm-hmm.
And he is looking at it.
What are you doing?
Just taking in the air.
Does that help?
It's romantic, if nothing else.
I guess so.
Hallow, would you come here for a moment?
Somewhat hesitantly, she begins to walk over.
Are you... How close are you getting?
I guess she's like a few steps behind him. She's not really sure what he wants.
He turns around. His head's a little, like, greased over with sweat, and you can see his eyes have sunken in a little.
Mm-hmm.
But he just says, please, Hallow, I need this. And he holds out both of his hands on the one side. Please.
I don't understand.
Take my hand, Hallow, please.
Oh,
Please.
She does as she's told.
You take his first hand, and then he reaches out on the other side to grab your second hand.
Mm-hmm.
It feels weird. He has relatively normal human hands, holding in with all of his willpower as glamour. Meanwhile, you've got, your claws.
Yeah.
His third hand puts a hand on your, hip.
Does this help?
And he begins to just, like, hum this serene tune to himself as he begins, like, swaying back and forth.
Hallow, is not graceful, but she lets him sway her as much as he needs to, she supposes.
You hear the sound of water splashing slightly. You guys are about, ankle or shin height in the water, slowly lapping at you, and you just kind of go around in circles as you very clumsily, I imagine, but as you just hold his hand and slowly dance with Jean underneath this kind of strained song. What do you do?
Hallow she doesn't have any sort of knowledge of things like this. So she lets him spin her around. The sand feels weird underneath her feet. She keeps looking behind her to see if anybody followed her too.
No one's here. This haven's pretty well tucked away. It's just the two of you here in the water.
I'm sorry that she struggles to find words. I'm sorry that you are hungry. I know it is hard.
His eyes just kind of like open. It seems you're done dancing now, though he's still holding you. And I think he just says, didn't work.
I'm sorry.
It's quite all right. I just can't eat any of you.
Is that a bad thing?
I don't know. You tell me.
I suppose I would prefer if I were not eaten.
Jean looks at you with, like, a conflicted emotion on his face. Dear Hallows Eve Venison, in the arms of the only person who is as weird as you in this town, you sense hesitation. There's clearly something brewing in his head, but you can't tell what. You're not sure his reasons, but you might be able to get some more out of him if you roll plus charm. On a 10+, he has information to tell you. Important information. Ask an investigative mystery question regarding how to break your curse. On a 7-9, he's been digging into town. Ask an investigative mystery question about any unsolved mystery. And on a 6-, he's got something terrible to tell you, and you're going to wring it out of him.
Okay.
So that's plus charm. Why do you
I don't have a very good plus charm roll.
I see. Dog.
I'm not getting out of this one alive.
You think I'm gonna kill you here?
Yes.
Look, that's a 6. That is a 6. That is a 6. Okay, mark experience first and foremost. You do get that at least.
Well, thank God for that.
You don't sound very pleased. Okay, what do we think wringing this information out of him looks like? I think he just looks at you and just says, like, sorry, never mind. I'm just letting my mind wander.
I think Hallow just, like, I don't know, you know how sometimes, like, when you stare at someone for an uncomfortably long time, they just start talking to you?
Oh, you think it's that?
I think Hallow just kind of looks at him.
Jean is not meeting your eyes in the slightest.
Boo, pussy. Okay, in that case, Hallow...
Well, no, I think we can work with this.
Oh, okay.
I think he just says, like, Hallow, please stop staring at me like that.
Why?
I don't like it, please.
You had something to tell me.
It's not important. It doesn't matter to you. My mind is just wandering.
I want to know what it's about.
Hallow, please. Listen, Hallow. I said before that you had beautiful eyes, like I'd seen them somewhere before. And the truth is that I had seen them somewhere before.
Cocks her head.
Listen, I don't want to sound rude to this fine town here, but, like, do you think it was my choice to be here?
I don't know. You don't really talk about where you're from.
Well, listen, I could have kept myself perfectly fed if I was still in the Winter Court, is all I'm saying. But well, listen, there was an inter-court ball, and I saw the most beautiful woman. I saw the most beautiful woman from the summer court. And against my better judgment, we decided to elope. Nothing like a good scandal in the morning, right? What I didn't realize was that that woman I eloped with was, number one, the princess to a high-standing family in the summer court, and two, was actually human, and she had your eyes.
Oh.
I think, Hallow, you, like, going back to the feverish feasting hunt, I think you realize that he's probably talking about that, the same girl that you saw when you, got eaten by the, joint mother.
Oh. Oh.
The one that you were changed for.
Oh.
And John just says, Lord knows how long that woman has left of life, but, I couldn't stay in either courts. It was just supposed to be a fling, Hallow. It wasn't supposed to be a political assassination. So I ran, and I don't know what happened after that. I hopped on some kind of train, and I woke up in a sewer.
Oh.
So there. That is what I was thinking about.
Hallow sort of... Is he still holding her?
Is he still holding her? Oh, I don't think so.
Okay, she takes a step back from him. She looks, I think, and John knows her mannerisms by now, I'm sure, she looks a little betrayed.
Hallow, come on.
You knew who I was the whole time?
Well, I was still a little delirious. I didn't put the whole things together. Let me tell you, you look far different now than she ever did. She doesn't really have antlers or big fingers or pulled back skin to reveal giant maws, exactly.
She sort of, she reaches to start tugging on her hair. She takes another step back from him, and the water sloshes around her feet. She almost slips a little bit. She's not steady on her feet right now.
Hallow, listen, I'm sorry. I wanted to run from that, you know? I wanted to leave it behind. I certainly wouldn't be the first unseelie to, make their life hunting on the mortal coil. I thought it would be fine. I don't understand why you feel so betrayed.
You could have told me at any point. You knew.
What would I have told you? What actionable information could I have told you?
I don't know.
That you were the noble heir of a family who threw you out for a mortal?
Don't talk about it.
You're the one who asked me to tell you, and now you're mad that I didn't tell you, and now we're talking about it and you don't want me to. Hallow, listen, come on, what I am talking about now is things that have happened in the past. We can just... Lord knows that you have a past, too, that you want to run from.
She tries to cover her face with her hands, but it doesn't really work because her nails start tangling into her hair because of how long they both are.
Hallow, please, let's not fight. We can move on from this, the both of us.
It's not fair.
No, it really isn't.
I wasn't supposed to be like this.
The whims of fate are hardly fair, Hallow. All we can do now is move forward and work with the hand we've been dealt.
I thought... She takes a deep breath and she turns around.
No, Hallow, come on, Hallow. Jean is trying to, come back after you now. Are you, going back to the haven?
Yeah, I think she just starts walking back out of the water.
Are you gonna, Are you going to the Haven or are you going elsewhere? The Haven does have a locked door. You can, like, lock him out if you want.
We're going through a rough period.
Oh, yes. Paint me a picture. What does this scene look like?
This is a lot of information to receive.
Should have rolled better.
Okay, well, shut up. She needs to sit down, I think, first and foremost. She starts walking back to the Haven. Jean is free to follow her, but I don't think she's listening to him right now. You know how you feel when you get, like, really bad news and, like, the world starts going fuzzy and you can't hear anything and there's a ringing in your ears?
Oh, Lord, don't I know it.
That's what's happening to her right now. So Jean's free to follow her back into the Haven if he'd like.
Oh, she's not shutting the door and locking it behind him?
I don't think so. It's
Okay.
a little severe.
The both of you are back into this little hidden away cove shack. You're sitting on the cot, I believe.
Yeah.
And I think John just says, like, what a mess. What do you want me to say, Hallow?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Was I just a replacement for her?
I think he pauses and just says, no, of course not.
Are you sure? What?
I genuinely don't know how he would answer this question.
Now it's your turn to think.
Now it's my turn to think. I stick around you, Hallow, because you're you. I admit it was quite a punch to the throat when you showed up and I saw those same exact eyes peering down at me. But you're you, and I don't know why you care about a single mortal so much. You can see that, like, he's like twitching. His hands are shaking.
He's fucking hungry.
Yes.
He's fucking starving.
Yes, and thinking about one of his old flings is not going to help.
Yeah. Sorry. Why do I care?
This is the family that abandoned you, Hallow. This is somebody you've never met. This is the person who took your rightful place. If anything, I thought you'd be happy that she's dying.
I don't know, but why wouldn't I care? Doesn't she
Lord.
have everything I'm supposed to have? Would that not make you upset?
Oh, Lord. I am not having this conversation right now. I'm going to go for a walk. We both need to cool our heads.
Oh.
He says that. I don't think Jean's coming back. Not like he's skipping town or anything, but, like, he says he's gonna go for a walk for 5 minutes. I think, like, for the sake of this love letter downtime, I don't think he's gonna be back for, like, hours.
Great. Okay.
So you're just gonna have to sit on that information.
Great. Okay.
And when he comes back, I think he's gonna act like it never happened.
Great. Okay.
Sorry it didn't go as well as you wanted it to, but, well,
Great.
you've certainly got something to think about here come next hunt.
Great.
Okay, Midas, you're up next.
All right.
How's things been going since the incident at the Bedlam Carnival?
Well, I mean, I imagine, like, we fucking killed a guy.
Yeah, I imagine it's been a couple days. These are, like, love letters, so, like, it's, you know, downtimes maybe even, like, a week or two. Have you and... What's been going on between you and Ruby?
I mean, I think she's kind of, like, I don't even want to say twofold, maybe threefold in the way she feels, because, like, on one hand, she's still pissed at me for everything, and she's entirely justified in that, being pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
She is probably happy that Vanity is dead now, you know, is very, very, you know, that it wasn't a bad thing for her that happened. On a third end, absolutely terrified to a certain degree that I vaporized someone.
Yeah, you did the fucking Dr. Manhattan thing. Just Vanity, like, Who's Steve Jobs?
Lick my balls.
Boom. This is serious. We can't be fucking joking about this shit. Okay, reel it in. Lock in. Have you guys been talking like, this is just setting up before our scene in proper. Have you guys been, like, talking much, or has it been, like, too awkward?
I feel like it's been, like, too awkward. I think there's so much in the air right now. Probably not being helped, but I imagine, like, she might be tied up with doing stuff with Millie for the bit of time that she's in town. She's not really in town for me at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've had time to discuss anything, despite there being so much to talk about.
Yeah, and let me tell you, Millie's been busy too. You haven't seen that love letter yet, but oh god, Millie has been busy too. You did kind of vaporize her boss, so...
Yeah, I mean, like...
There's a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do in the world of Millie Bizarre.
I can only imagine.
I think where our scene opens, actually, isn't in Fringewater. You and Ruby are in, I think, the Mid-Assmobile.
She's finally front and center.
You are currently... Yeah, I don't know how... Ruby has just been electing not to comment on the paint on the outside of it.
It's... Okay, and you gotta realize, Midas has been living in this thing for a few days.
Oh,
after
God,
getting
that's
kicked
right.
out of the fucking...
We haven't even talked about that, right? We haven't even talked about where you're staying, Jesus.
So, Midas has been sleeping in his car for the past couple of days. Summer's over now. I mean, the Summer and Yummer Festival was weeks ago at this point, so, like...
Oh, there'll be another festival, don't worry.
Oh, fuck, of course there'd be. So, like, it's not, like, so hot that he can't stay in his car while he's working on getting, like, his shit put together for the previous place.
Yeah,
so,
but
like,
you can't really, like, drive it around a lot. We established that Fringewater doesn't really have drivable roads. We've been kind of really loose with that, but, like, you have to pretty much walk everywhere, downtown, at least.
I like to think that he's parked it in Merch's driveway, because, like, what the fuck is Merch gonna do? Go to the police? Siren will... Might as well just fucking pull the top of his pool off.
You're still fucking blackmailing him!
I have no reason to not be. What
the fuck is wrong with you?
I needed a place to sleep. I could have been sleeping on his fucking couch.
Okay, so you know that he would let you do this without the blackmail, right? Like, you didn't need to go that far.
I find there to be no reason to waste a good blackmail opportunity.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, back on track.
The car is strewn about with, like, 1,000 fucking loose ties, all of different decorative functions. The trunk of his car is full of a bunch of suit jackets, most of them kind of torn to shit from the last month or so.
Solenis is in the back seat.
Yeah, Solenis is in the back seat. There's a single white glove that is just sitting there, so that Ruby knows where he is.
That's terrifying. I was about to say you didn't give him, like, a mask or something. I think that'd be worse.
Oh, that'd be worse. That'd be way worse.
Oh god, that'd be so fucking worse. You guys are...
Midas is like, let me put makeup on him. You just have this eyeless face sitting in the back of the car.
Oh god, I do not like that mental image. No, you guys are currently on your way to Detroit Metropolitan Wayne County Airport. It's time for Ruby to go home.
I was gonna say, I mean, she's got a whole life outside of this. I mean, like, she's a restaurant. She just thought she was coming to deal with me. I imagine she's probably been in town for at least, like, 2 weeks at this point.
2 weeks, maybe 2.5 to 3 sounds about right.
I don't know how much time has passed throughout the whole of the show so far.
Well, listen, that kind of bookkeeping isn't something we really need to dwell on. I think, have we ever established what kind of phone Midas has?
Like, is he an Apple or Android kind of guy?
I was thinking, like, for the sake of this scene, that he had an Apple.
Okay.
Like an iPhone, maybe an older one. And I think, like, this entire ride so far across the state has been, like, completely silent. I think Ruby just peers down and is like, fucking Apple, huh?
What's the problem with Apple? They're like the biggest phone company.
No, I don't care about any Apple or Android fanboy war. It's just like, Dad, you know?
Oh, yeah, right.
Put it all on fucking black. Or I guess put it all on red, because, you know, apples
Well,
are
yeah, it's an apple.
red. Yeah.
Blows me away to think about. I mean, like, God's sake, all that fucking money is because you bet your college fund on that company.
Oh, Jesus, don't remind me.
God, Mom was like halfway through filing divorce with him before it, you know.
I mean, Mom's sipping margaritas in Florida now with his inheritance, so I mean...
I mean, I'm sure you know that all better than I do. I wasn't really, well, alive. I just get it all from testimonials.
She still asks about you sometimes.
I mean, does she sound happy?
I don't know. I mean, she saw you on air. She watched every single episode, like, religiously. She saw all of that.
I didn't know she cared that much.
Well, you did kind of blow off all of her calls. But, like, I guess I don't blame you for that anymore.
No.
Knowing that, after all the shit I saw, if what you were talking about was actually fake all along, I don't know what I'd do. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have started that sentence.
No, you're perfectly all right.
I'm still mad at you.
I understand why you would be. You have every reason to be. I'm not going to pretend like what I did was right, because it wasn't.
You know, you don't really make it very easy to quibble with you when you just accept whatever I say.
Well, would you rather I tell you you're wrong?
I guess it would make this car drive a little less boring. You have a horrible taste in music.
I'm telling you, disco is making a big comeback this year. If
not.
Daft Punk can make it work, then anyone can.
Was Daft Punk disco? I thought they were like electronica.
Their 2013 album was disco. You know the one with Pharrell?
Huh.
That counts as disco.
Oh shit, I think you want to turn here. We're getting there now. God, I fucking hate airport parking.
Midas is pulling in through. I've been to airports before. My God, just like going.
I've been to this specific airport before.
Oh, is that why you've picked this one out?
I mean, it's also just like the Detroit airport. I mean, I don't know. It's just the one that I usually use when I visit Michigan. I feel like we can skip all of the like bureaucracy. I think you've gotten one of those like security passes. You're not flying, but you can like go through security and like walk with her to the gate.
Do you think Solenis follows through, like, I mean, what would they do to stop him?
Solenis takes the glove off, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I mean, Midas is gonna pocket the glove until they're through security.
But I feel like, actually, is that something we've talked about before, if there's like a range limit for Solenis?
I mean, if he's coming anyways, I don't think we even really
Yeah, Solenis is just like
discuss it.
following you anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I take his glove off and I'll put it back on once we get to like. I imagine we might have to wait like an hour or two for the plane. Like I've waited in airports before, getting food and stuff, just sitting there and like.
Yeah.
There's just a glove sitting on the table, and every now and again it'll just like give a little motion to Midas of like, shut the fuck up, dude.
It'll move like that guy from Addams Family. What's the fucking hand's name?
Fuck. Oh my God, what is his name? Oh my God, hold on.
Hand from Addams Family. It's Thing.
It's Thing.
Yeah, it just kind of moves like Thing sometimes.
You ever done that thing when you're like a kid when you like walk around using your hand pretending it's a person by walking on your index and middle finger? It's like that. Like Solenis just gets to like interact with the rest of the world by doing that with his one hand.
I think you're just kind of sitting in one of these like gate areas, and Ruby just kind of turns to you and is like, "So we killed someone, didn't we?"
Would seem to be that way.
I'm stage whispering, by the way. I think saying that out loud in an airport's not a good idea.
No, of course not.
I don't know how I feel about that. God, I was seeing red, but like afterwards. But I mean, it's more like you killed someone.
Yeah, I definitely feels a lot more like I killed him than you did.
Jesus, you disintegrated him.
It would, yeah, I most certainly did.
She doesn't even, like, meet your eyes as she's speaking. You kind of get the sense that she's kind of, like, scared of you.
I, didn't know that I could do that, in all honesty. I just didn't.
Gotta say, I didn't either.
I mean, I've had some abilities of sorts for a while now, of telekinesis. And, Silenus, obviously. I mean, he's sitting in the seat next to you, which is just odd to think. But don't let anybody sit there, by the way. I mean, like, you have no idea how hard it is to go to the movies with him. Regardless, I didn't know that I could do any of that, and I'm not sure how I did that.
You don't.
I don't know if magic runs in our family to some extent. I'm genuinely uncertain of it.
I mean, little Malenko, I don't think she was like that. I mean, look at me. I don't do anything, and Jesus, can you imagine Dad as, like, a sorcerer?
I mean, he had to be with that kind of luck.
Huh. Maybe I ought to start doing some reading, huh?
I mean, maybe ask Millie to send you some files. I'm sure she has some copies of things somewhere.
Maybe. Things are still awkward between us. Not as awkward as you and I, but...
I mean, you did try to kill who she saw as your boss. I mean, I'm the one that actually did it, but...
You see her hands are like... Her arms are folded together, but she just kind of, like, grips down on her arm a little bit tighter as this is the subject that's brought up, and she's like, yes, yeah. Yeah. I still have to go visit Mom after I get back. I gotta go see the restaurant, but it's only gonna be for a couple weeks before I'm flying out to Florida. Do you want to get, like, a souvenir for her or something? I'm sure there's something in one of these shops, or maybe, like, a postcard.
I'm not really interested in rekindling anything with her. I mean, I'm...
What? Hey, I mean,
What?
She cares about you. She's been asking about you. I mean, like, God, even a postcard would at least give her the peace of mind that you're not dead.
Yeah, well, she cares about me now, Ruby, but I mean, like, she's so focused on bleeding the inheritance dry that, like, I can't take that in good faith, because I'm not getting suckered by her again.
Hey now, let's I don't know if you have much room to talk there about bleeding inheritance dry, so let's just calm down a little, okay?
Oh, come on. I mean, look, you got the better years of it. I'm the fucking kid they had to keep the marriage together.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, let's not have this conversation in the middle of an airport. Midas, it's just a postcard or, like, a little shitty plush animal that says "miss you" on it.
And that's how it starts, but I don't miss her, okay? I've lived a great life without her, and I could have had a great life with her had she put in the effort.
Oh my God. Oh, we were doing so well. Can you not do this one thing? It'll be like fucking $20.
Fine.
Yeah, come on. Get up. Let's go to a store. Let's go to a
buy a little knick-knack or a Chotsky, and then it'll be, hey, I saw that you'd gotten stuff from the funeral. Interested in sending any of that my way and wiring shit to her bank.
Jesus Christ. Listen, if she gives you shit, I'll deal with it, but can you, like, fucking lighten up?
I will be civil, but I'm not doing it for her. I'm doing it for you.
I think, what's the postcard or, like, souvenir that you get, do we think?
A little postcard. I'm trying to think of what he would write on the back of it as, like, a message.
I like to imagine that originally you were going to get, like, a shitty stuffed animal, but this is an airport, so you saw that the price on it was, like, $45 for this, like, Webkin-sized plush.
This is all I'm getting for her.
No,
when she has earned the stuffed animal...
Come on, I thought this little thing's cute.
Do you want this? I'll get the stuffed animal for you.
No, Jesus, it's fucking fine. Whatever, man.
Midas sighs and grabs the stuffed animal by its head and places it on the counter. It has a little card in its hands.
Dude, I said it's fine.
And and it is. I'm getting the stuffed animal.
Okay, all right. I'll put it in my bags and I'll tell her it was from you. What do you write on the back of the postcard?
Living my best life. I hope you're enjoying yours.
Fuck. Holy hell. Ruby just kind of like looks down on it and like, she doesn't say anything, but she glowers at you. I think after a couple like awkward like few moments, she just starts heading back to the gate. It's getting about that time.
Yeah, we gotta like get going. Well, she does. I just have to like see her to the gate and then leave.
Yeah, I think boarding's starting, which means, Dear Midas Gold, it is the end of the road. The only way to go is forward, but not for you. You still have some unfinished business. Roll plus charm. On a 10 plus, your goodbyes are mutual. You'll talk again for sure. On a 7 to 9, things are awkward. Say what you'll need to do before Ruby is willing to keep in contact with you again. On a 6 minus, the goodbye is final. You won't talk again. What's the last thing you say to her? It's time to roll. This is plus charm.
An 8.
All right, on a 7 to 9, what are you gonna you tell me what you're going to have to do to make things up to her, because
I think I need to go visit Mom.
I think, like, as she's boarding, she just says, like, I cannot believe you.
What?
She turns around and puts, like, a harsh hand on your shoulder and says, when all of this shit is over, in Fringe water, first of all, don't fucking die.
Well, I wasn't planning on it.
I'm gonna be so fucking mad if you die. Second of all, when this shit's over, you and I both are going to visit Mom.
Okay.
You will do this for me. I'm not talking to you again unless you do this.
Then I'm gonna do it.
No, don't fucking say that shit to me,
No,
Midas.
I am.
Mean it.
I am. Okay?
She just has this, like, very, like, upset and angry look in her eyes, but it's not like the red rage anger that she had last hunt. It's more like a sobbing anger. It just kind of like pulls you in for a tight hug.
Midas, like, I don't know when the last time Midas was hugged. Like, I see him very much as like a physical contact is kind of strange person. So he doesn't exactly know what to do with it immediately. Like, his arms are kind of at his side, and then he just sinks in.
I think she says, you're a fucking asshole, Midas.
I know. And I'm gonna do everything I can to make it up to you.
Promise me you're not gonna die there in that fucking town.
I'll call you when this is all over.
She just kind of pulls back. Ah, shit, people are staring. Yeah, well, you call me.
Yeah. Well, in all fairness, this is the first public appearance I've made in maybe...
Oh yeah, people probably have been, like,
months.
whispering the entire time you've been in this airport.
Comes with the territory. If anything, I've kind of been liking Fringe water, because nobody actually knows who I am there. I can have peace.
I think she just is like, fuck, I have to... yeah, see you later,
Ruby, look, I'm not great with emotional stuff. Feel like there was always kind of a hole in me that couldn't really be filled properly with the family that we had at home. And I tried to fill that void with a million eyes staring at me every single night. And I've never felt more alone than when I was at the top. And for the first time in my life, I feel like I am whole. And I don't want to lose that.
Look, you're not going to make good money, but after this is all over, and given you promised to come see Mom with me, maybe I'll get you a job, like, on the line or something. Back of the house, you won't have to be seen or anything. You'll just be chopping carrots and onions for prepping for the dinner rush all day.
I might like that.
We'll see. I have to get going.
I'll let you know when this all blows over.
I'm not going to return your calls before then. I'm going to be so fucking busy. I'll give Mom your presents.
Thank you.
And away she goes.
Holy crap, your mind is gold!
Oh no.
Oh, there's Midas Gold! Oh!
Oh god. Midas is now alone in an airport. Selenus is there. A
People are converging on you.
A floating glove next to him, which quickly sticks itself into his pocket to hide.
Hey, is it true that you saw a ghost in a hotel?
I'd like not to comment on that. Selenus, let's get out of here!
Can I have your autograph, sir?
I'd really rather not. I've got to get going.
You gotta come guest on my paranormal group.
I'd rather
You'd be a great
not.
panelist.
I wouldn't be.
Hey man, you know, I totally get it. I know the truth, man. They got it all wrong.
I don't know who they is. I'm very scared of the connotations there.
The scene opens among a breezy autumn day and verdant green trees. You watch as the man in the woods is coming out through the trees, kind of hobbling, kind of haggard. He doesn't look good. This is approximately 7 minutes and 42 seconds after being released by Hallows Eve Venison at the end of the delegated disaster hunt. He has just got done a very, very stressful fight with his adversary, and you watch as he is hobbling back to the commune. What do you do?
In a moment, stand there in shock and confusion before moving up to check on him.
Oh, hello, I'm fine, I promise.
Are you? You look... The last time we all saw you, that Dad was here and kind of really looked mad.
Oh, he was quite mad, but I took care of things. I really am fine. In fact, I'm more than fine. I'm absolutely jubilant.
Really?
Oh yes, oh yes. Oh, I need to lay down, but I think things are finally turning around for us, Neville.
Are you sure? Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm quite sure. Our adversary was finally cut down. I mean, it was only a couple months ago that I found out this emissary of perfect consumption was within our grasp, and now we've cut him down in just weeks before the Harvest Festival, too. It is nothing but perfect timing. I am positively radiating.
Right. That's good then, right?
Oh, chin up, Neville. I promise it's fine. You love the Harvest Festival, don't you?
Of course.
When nature's reclamation is at its strongest. When branch and vine is able to seep into the town, even if for just a day. And now with a decisive blow struck to our adversary, yes, 2 weeks and a day. That is the countdown to our apotheosis. I do think that this year's Harvest Festival is going to be nothing short of magnificent. But don't let me, talk your head off, Neville. It is a joyous day, but I really do need to go lay down.
Right, yeah, of course, sir.
And, the man in the woods limps and, walks past you, presumably towards one of these, log cottages. So, Perry.
So, Flux.
To whom do I have the pleasure today?
You have the pleasure of one Neville Willings, the Flake. And as you know, everything's connected, but not everyone can see the patterns, and most people don't even look that hard. But me, I can never stop looking deeper. I can never stop seeing the truth. I spot the patterns. That's how I found the monsters, and that's how I'll help kill them.
So, let's talk a little bit about Neville's background. Obviously, you have a background coming from the commune, but, let's talk about your life. Let's talk about what brought you into this story.
I'm definitely like a kid of the compound.
Oh, you were raised here.
Definitely, like, maybe not born, but definitely raised here, like from 3 or something.
Okay. Your parents, they were true believers then?
Yeah, of course. Why else would they come out here with a kid? Well, maybe not both of them, just one of them.
Oh, this was a divorce situation.
Let's be real. I think this is something you do after you get into a messy divorce. You run away with the compound with your kid.
I mean, you're throwing away all of, like, societal pleasures. What are you gonna do, pay alimony?
Not if I take the kid with me.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. Whew, fuck. So I imagine from that you never really had, like, a good relationship with your one parent. Maybe that's how you, like... Even if your mother or father... Okay, just for the sake of it, let's decide. Which is it? Mother, father?
Mother. It's a deadbeat mom situation.
Oh. Well, even if your mother bought into the doctrine, it doesn't really sound like you did.
No. I mean, just in the nature of being a kid, kids always question things anyways, and I've never stopped questioning things, even when people tell me not to.
Yeah. I mean, I say doctrine, I don't really think that the commune is a cult, per se.
No.
Or at least maybe not in the traditional way that one might think of them. I definitely think it touches on those tropes, but, like, this is not really a religious thing. And obviously not all cults are religious by nature, so maybe I am talking myself into thinking that this is a cult, huh?
This might be a little bit of a cult, but
Live on camera, live on mic, realizing that I've built a cult. Oh, I'm gonna have to go back and change a lot of those content warnings on episodes, huh?
Oops.
It'll be a nice little evening's romp. But no, the point is that you never really bought into this.
Right, no. Having a dad who still lives, I don't know if he lives in this town or if he lives somewhere else farther away. Having some sort of outside connection that I know of is definitely another great reason why I've always never quite connected.
Yeah, like, when you say the flake, I'm imagining this, this kid of, did we say your age?
I'm like 20.
Oh, you can't even drink legally yet.
No, but this is a compound, so...
Yeah, they probably do anyways. Well, the point is that I'm imagining you're, like, the kid who's always poking its nose into trouble, the kid who's always asking the questions that he shouldn't be asking.
The actually.
Nerd emoji.
Yes, he's the nerd emoji if you also covered him in damp leaves and twigs.
Oh, okay. Let's get to your actual character building. So you have your 5 ratings. What was the ratings line that you chose?
I chose the rating line that leaves me with 0 charm, 1 to my cool and my weird, 2 to my sharp, because, actually, and -1 tough.
Oh, you're not the fighter.
No, not at all.
Well, I will keep that in mind for the rest of the hunts in this season.
It's fine, Monster of the Week isn't a fighting-based game.
I
Just
mean,
a game that has fighting.
I mean, all things considered, a lot of the game loop of Monster of the Week generally is like trying to outsmart the monster. You guys really have been brute forcing your way through these hunts.
And it's worked.
I really need to get you assholes to make a trap sometime.
It barely worked with the bowling alley, but it still worked.
That is true. That is true. I mean, if you count teleporting someone into live gunfire as a trap. Hey, if the shoe fits! So you get 3 moves as the Flake. You start with 3 moves. You don't have any starting moves. The world's your oyster, you can choose any of them.
Well, no, not any of them. Midas Gold has Suspicious Mind.
Yeah, that's right. We probably don't want to double up on that. I mean, it's within the rules to double up on that, but like, you know...
We don't need 2 living lie detectors, do we?
You may as well choose something different, you know, broaden your horizons.
No, I think I'll go with contrary. When you seek out and receive someone's honest advice on the best course of action to take and do something else instead, you gain experience and get a +1 ongoing for as long as you keep doing that.
And I think with that move, the big, like... I've played in Monster of the Week games that use this move before with one of the hunters. I think the real big, like, sticking point here is when you seek out.
Yeah,
'Cause,
yeah,
like,
it has to be something I have to actively ask for this help and then actively say, never mind.
it's kind of hard to trigger if you're just like passively going along and waiting for someone to tell you what to do.
Like, if somebody was like, shoot the monster in its head, that's its weak spot, and I shoot it in its knee, that's not going to give me anything. But if I ask them, where should I shoot it? And they say the head, and then I shoot it in the knee.
Yeah, I think that's generally how I would read this move. You get 2 more.
And then at the top of the moves list, there's connect the dots, which at the beginning of each mystery, if you look for the wired pattern on current events that might be part of it, roll plus sharp. And depending on it, I can ask questions.
Yeah, it's kind of like an investigate a mystery move, only you do it at the top of the hunt and you get to ask, is this person connected to the current events more than they're saying? When and where will the next critical event occur? What does the monster want from this person? Is this connected to the previous mysteries we've investigated? Or how does this mystery connect to the bigger picture? And you get to keep that hold throughout the entire mystery.
Which is nice, if I ask a good question.
And you don't even need to choose your questions up top. Like investigate a mystery and read a bad situation is kind of like, they kind of expire after the scene is over, but you get to keep this for the entire hunt. You get 1 more.
And I think see it all fits together is good. Because since I don't lack charm, I'm not very good at manipulating. Except, see it all fits together, you can use sharp instead.
Oh, so your manipulate someone's actually a +2.
Yes. I may be the guy who goes, actually, but I kind of have a point with it.
You're like a 17-year-old baby-faced Adam Conover.
Yeah.
Well, not 17, you're 20, but like, you look like you're 17.
I look like the kid from the Polar Express. Do you know what type of train this is?
Oh, God. It's a good thing that we're doing this during a fucking love letter. Theo does a really spot-on impression of that character, and it pisses me off so badly.
It's funny, folks. Too bad you'll never experience it.
I mean, who knows how long this podcast is going to go for. Maybe they'll get to experience it. And maybe they'll never know.
Anyways, those are my moves.
Yep, you got 3 of them. Good job. You also get 1 normal weapon and 2 hidden weapons. And let me tell you, this is important considering the hunters have been losing their weapons a lot lately.
Thankfully, 2 of them people don't know about. Except for you, audience, you know about them.
So you get 1 normal weapon.
Which is, in this case, a hunting rifle. Which is a somewhat ironic weapon for him to have. Because when he was like 14, he blew his ear out with one. I mean, I blew my ear with one. I'm the character.
I don't think that's what irony means, but sure.
Okay, well...
But it does make sense that, like, growing up in this, like, self-sufficient compound, they would, like, listen, growing's hard. They probably rely a lot on hunting.
Yeah.
You can only do so much with gardening.
Yeah, definitely teach the kids how to hunt. And, because I'm a shitty kid, I thought, I don't need earmuffs to use a gun.
I see. So you have a hearing aid then. You're hard of hearing, but you like,
It's just in the one ear.
Yeah, I think it's nice of them that you're still allowed a hearing aid. Or maybe they don't know that you have a hearing aid.
I think they would notice a hearing aid pretty quickly if I just snuck one.
I mean, there's some pretty incognito ones. But no, I don't think I want this compound to be so, like, anti-society that they wouldn't allow, like...
That they've become ableist? No.
Yeah, I don't think they would, like, balk at disability aids. I think that's a line for me. They wouldn't do that. The man in the woods is a eco-fascist accelerationist, but he's not ableist.
Yeah, you can still take your insulin while you're here.
You also get 2 hidden weapons.
Which I feel like makes the most logical ones for me are a Watchman's flashlight, which, as far as people know, is just a regular flashlight and not one that's extremely weighted at the end, and a butterfly knife that are easy to tuck away. And what shitty young adult conspiring against society around them doesn't have a butterfly knife?
You often see butterfly knives also coming with other tools too, like a multi-tool. So that does make sense, like, for the fiction of this person coming from the commune. And last question now, because we don't do history, we'll get to that in a second. What are you choosing as your weird move?
Oh, my weird move. I swear I marked that down somewhere. I don't think I did, actually.
There's not a place on the character sheet. You could stay as a, maybe like a plant-based sorcerer if you want to keep use magic, or I can link you the rest of the other, alternative weird moves if you want to peruse them.
No, I think Devil definitely picked up some magic.
Just some, like, I don't know if I want to call it druidic magic. That's kind of like...
No, just nature magic.
Yeah, that's kind of more of a fantasy than we're doing this season, at least. Wink.
Yeah?
Oh, don't worry about it.
Huh. Well, folks, you heard it here. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so, the only other thing that you generally do during character creation is history, but, we don't have that because you don't have a history with the hunters, not yet. So, instead, we have to figure out how you're going to connect with the hunters.
Well, I've seen 2 of them before. Well, 3 of them before, but your friendly neighbor has been pushed off the table.
Yeah, he's, I mean, Friendly Neighbor might come back. There's resurrection rules in Monster of the Week.
They're very messy.
Oh, it is very messy. It's one of the things you can do with big magic.
I don't know, maybe if Hollow really wants her dad back.
Well, you know, we're not really planning that far ahead. We'll see how the rest of the season shakes out. But, I think we were talking off mic, and I think the conclusion that we went to, you can, like, change this up if you disagree, but I think the conclusion we talked about was that after the incident with the delegated disaster and the Man of the Woods coming back and doing that, frankly, disconcerting monologue at you,
Maybe not the straw that breaks the camel's back, but definitely concerning enough for me to maybe just want to seek some people out and maybe leave.
effectively you're abandoning the commune.
Honestly, it's something I don't feel completely terrible about, because the only other person who was around my age is,
It's me, Alex.
yeah, hi Alex.
And this is something you've done before, like sneaking out. You've went to see your dad in town, right?
Yeah, I have a somewhat slight connection with modern stuff. This is just different though, because it's not sneaking out.
I think it's, you know, people in this community just kind of go into the woods sometimes. You're very easily able to do that, but that's just like walking into the woods. You have like your clothes, your personal affects. It's going to be very obvious when they see you taking everything out, because I don't think you want to leave all of your clothes and stuff behind.
Yeah, and I don't think I've heard of anybody ever actually leaving, except for the guy who got his face flipped. That was weird.
Yeah, so it's going to be very obvious that you're out of here. I think how this scene opens is like you are packing in one of these small little like log and branch cottages. This is probably something that like you and your mother live in together. It's not very spacious, but it works.
Definitely makes it pretty much impossible to hide the fact that I'm packing up from her.
Well, I don't think she's in right now.
And, I don't know if she cares about me right now.
I think where everyone is outside. The Man in the Woods is giving, I think, if this was a TV show, you'd be hearing it muffled in the background, but it's this kind of like rallying speech almost. You can definitely make out words like Harvest Festival and Apotheosis. It's very similar to what he told you about when he came back.
Yeah, and I've just got like a grimace on my face hearing this vaguely.
And you're packing up, and I think who does see you is Alex actually. And I think he just says
no.
like, "Oh, Neville, what are you doing?"
I'm just getting my stuff together for no reason.
Wow, you're really not a good fucking liar.
Do you think I'm a good liar?
I guess that's fair. I think Alex just says, "Oh, that's pretty cool. I really like the way that you're, taking all of your clothes with you and all of your books too, and your rifle as well. That's, you're not planning on leaving, are you, Neville?"
I walk over to Alex, pull him back into the cabin.
Whoa!
Hands on his shoulders. Dude, Alex?
Yeah.
I like to go visit my dad sometimes, right?
I mean, the Man in the Woods doesn't really like us interacting back with the town. I mean, that's kind of what he's talking about outside, though. Actually, is that we actually have plans to maybe start moving back into town.
Yeah, I can hear that, Alan. And listen, I need to get out of the. I just
My
need to go
name's
there
Alex.
first. All right, Alan. I just need to go there before.
Is this the bit now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just need to get there before anybody else from the compound does.
Well,
It's
why?
I'm being sent to scout ahead. Lying.
No, that doesn't really make any sense. You know, because we have the
Actually, it does make sense because I'm a more useful, spry figure than an adult.
I'm useful.
Yeah, but have you ever actually left the compound?
I have.
No, you haven't.
Alex did actually leave the compound once, if you remember him getting held at gunpoint at the
Oh, yeah.
road.
Okay, but didn't you tell me somebody pointed a gun at you after that?
Well, I wasn't really anticipating that.
And that's why I'm the one they're sending out to scout. Because you're better off here doing,
You're lying to me. I know you're lying to me. You don't need to bring all of your clothes and underwear and socks and t-shirts to scout, Neville.
what if I step in a really deep mud puddle on the way? You don't know.
Alex just kind of turns around and quickly heads out of the cabin as you hear in the background him shouting, "Mr. Man! Mr. Man!"
Okay, I gotta go.
It's time to go now.
Time to slam the suitcase shut, throw my rifle over my back, and book it. Preferably out of a window or a back door if this place has one.
Dear Neville Willings, at the edges of society, you've now come face to face with a plot many years in the making. Far, far bigger than yourself. You can't abide by this anymore. It's time to leave. But it won't be so easy, as the commune does not take kindly to turncoats. Run as fast as you can, Neville. Roll plus cool. On a 10+, the ensuing incident gives you a newfound vigor. Take an extra move from the Flake playbook. On a 7 to 9, it was an uncomfortably close call. You'll need to steel yourself for the future. Take +1 to any rating. And on a 6-, only by the grace of fate did you barely make it out. You'll join the other hunters with 5 luck rather than 7.
Oh man, it's been a while since I've had to roll. It's 2d6, right?
2d6 plus your cool, which I believe is a 1.
It's just the solid 1, champ.
Hey, that's better than nothing.
9.
A 9!
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so, I think what this is you're running is like, so you've pissed off the man in the woods, because Alex snitched on you, like an asshole.
Never did trust that guy.
Oh. Do you know what would be interesting here?
Uh-huh.
I don't know why this is the first thought that popped into my head, but like, so the thing about nature's reclamation, right? And something that I've been really thinking about is like, how their place in trying to adhere to the cycle of life and death is squared with them wanting to keep bringing things back, like from the dead.
Right. The whole looks at the road thing.
And I think the difference between Perfect Suburbia and Nature's Reclamation is that, like, Perfect Suburbia would rather you not die in the first place. Whereas Nature's Reclamation says, okay, you're dead, but that doesn't mean you can't still have purpose. What if you were chased through the woods by zombies?
Zombie people or zombie animals?
Oh, I was thinking zombie animals, but when you say zombie people, like...
Like, surely Mr. Upside Down wasn't the only dead person at the commune.
Yeah, surely not. I feel like the man in the woods, like, beseeches the power of nature's reclamation and, like, brings some of the, like, dead of the wood back to try and get you. But you managed to barely make it out. So which of these ratings do you think you're going to increase to try and, like, strengthen yourself for the trials beyond?
I think after that close escape, it's maybe just a little tougher.
Okay, so you're going to be starting with 0 tough instead of -1.
Yeah, which is better than -1, but it's still nothing.
It's also not one of the improvements that you can take, so...
Yeah, there we go.
I'm giving you this one for free. Because you're coming into this party so late, and you actually did roll well, I'm giving you this one for free.
Hooray! I, Neville Willings, am the best that's ever done it. I'm the medium who's ever done it.
You're the medium who's ever done it. I thought you were a nature magician.
Editor Flux, kill this guy.
No, how do we want to end this?
I mean, I think I need to find somewhere to stay, right?
Yeah, it's not really like you can sleep on the street or anything, but, I'll give you this, there's an abandoned hotel on the edge of town that, should do the trick if you want to squat there.
Got plenty of empty rooms.
No one's really there, or so you think.
It sounds like the perfect place to tuck into.
And I think this scene ends as you, manage to make it out of the forest and, just start running down the highway towards this abandoned motel as we fade into the next hunt.